My name is Gearmo. I'm developing a music app for the Nintendo 3DS. Keller GZSI, a YouTube viewer, commented, "I've been waiting for something like this on the 3DS for years. This is so cool. Thanks for your work. Will it be possible to record samples via the microphone? I know it's not studio quality stuff, but it would be great, fun addition for a portable app like this." It really warms my heart. Thank you for this comment, and I will try to do exactly that now. So all my work is based on the framework that is named lib see-through, and it comes with examples. And here's an example of recording from the microphone. So how it works when you run it is that it'll ask you hold A to record, release to play, press start to exit. So yeah, what it does is it initializes the sound playback library, which is CSND here, which is actually outdated. If I go to the file, it'll say, usage of this service is deprecated in favor of NDSP, but it's not super relevant. Here it's initializing the microphone service, mic init, and it says you have to give it a pointer to a byte buffer and give it a size, but the size must be aligned to 4 kilobytes. It creates a 4 kilobyte buffer just for the microphone service, but it also allocates a bigger buffer for like the final audio to be held in. So here, as you can see, if you press A, then it will start sampling. It will, this is the command I should be using, I guess. And while you keep A pressed, the button A, it does copy, whenever the 4 kilobytes are filled up, it copies it to the final buffer. And here it plays the sample, or when you signal that you're done. The maximum sample rate you can give it is, or record in, is 32 kilohertz. Even though the engine plays at 48 kilohertz, I reduce my samples to 33 just to save space, as we have only 8 megabytes at this point. That said, I might be able to allocate more memory in the future for samples, but I don't want to promise it, because it might not be possible in the end. Let's just look at this command, start sampling. So what does it want to have? Some encoding. I think you can also record in 8-bit, signed or unsigned, 8 or 16-bit. So these are your options. I think the default of signed 16-bit, that's what my app is using. What's the Boolean value here at the end? Just wondering whether to loop back to the beginning of the buffer when the end is reached. Yeah, I think that's something that's probably not super relevant, because I'm gonna skip that part of having 2 buffers. I'm just gonna record straight into my pre-allocated sample location that I will provide. And I hope I'm not stupid in that sense that I might overlooking some kind of a flaw. Maybe you're supposed to do that buffer swapping stuff. I'm gonna stop the recording and see you then. Yeah, I had to remind myself. It's crazy how quickly you forget how your own code works. So in the instrument widget, I want to add a button or an action. Let's just write something here, but so I want to call it from mic. So 24, and Y should be the same. So I have to go to actions.h. So these are sort of just reusable actions that can be called, from places in anywhere, just sort of shared functions basically. and I'm going to call it act record from microphone. I need to expose it in the header, and this is how I do it. I'm using the extern keyword a lot. I don't know if this is a bad idea, but it works pretty well for me. So then this would be act record from microphone. And with that, I should already have that button. It's a one-off test just to see, yeah, the button is working. Hello. Well, let's see if it compiles at first. You may frown about all the warnings. Okay, there's an error. Forgot a semicolon. I think I need to figure out how to trigger the setup of the memory for the sample. I have like a sample management class. Maybe I can go there. I recently renamed it, but yeah, it's called NC file. So there's like one class that like manages this 8 memory block. That's NC archive. There's some functions, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna allocate the new sample, because there's like some header information that needs to be created. I probably need to allocate or like give it a size that's like using maybe the entire free block that is left or something, and then when you're done with the recording, it'll have to update the memory size. Add sample from file or memory. I could also, of course, allocate like some external memory and then add it. You use this function to like move it into the final block, but it seems kind of redundant. Like, why not use the memory that's already there, right? So in the NC file class, I think I need to add a method that will create a new record for a sample that is reserving like all the remaining space that is left. And then maybe another function that clamps the size. In the header, I'm not sure how to call it. Allocate mic sample. Microphone sample. Right click and say add definition. So here we are. Copy this block where it says, populate entry. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, to be honest, but I think I first need to find the next free slot, which like here, basically copy that. And this might fail, so maybe I should be doing some error checking. Yeah, and now I forgot how to copy a string into a character array. I'm gonna pause the video. So I did some things off camera, which was I added a second action, which is stop microphone, and I added a global variable, which is like recording from mic, which is set to true and then to false again by the stopping thing. And then I created this new function in the archive class, allocate microphone sample, which is here. I might be missing stuff, but what it does is, so there are 255 sample slots, and it'll find the next free one and just populates a new entry, names it from mic, and hopefully this will be the correct memory address. The size, it will declare the size, just to like all the available memory. I should be now ready to like insert the microphone code from the libc-true API or framework into, well, I first need to initialize the microphone service. So I can probably just copy this block and copy it into my main CPP. It's so messy, isn't it? Maybe pop it in here. So I don't need the prints though. Don't need that either. Damn. I did some recordings that turned out to be just showing a black screen. Yeah, that was a bit forth and back, and I just realized that I was a bit of a dummy because I thought that the memory alignment refers to the size of the buffer, but it's actually about the memory address. So here I concluded that this is what is expected and this is what not. It doesn't fail if the memory ends with a 1 and 3 zeros, and in the hexadecimal address. And if I give it something like my buffer, it just doesn't accept it. So I in fact need to use the second buffer, just like in the example. I will spend some time offline to adjust the code. See you then. After taking a break and thinking of like, why don't I just adjust the memory, the pointer address of my final sample destination? So I had ChatGPT write this align pointer function for me, and of course it didn't work. It's taking the pointer and assigning 0 to it. So here in the debugger we can see this is like the original pointer. It's as an input, and then here where it's assigning it, I can see that the aligned address that it's computing here is 0. So I need to figure out, or maybe have ChatGPT figure out how to fix this, and or maybe do it myself. Let's see. I don't know. Let's maybe. So yeah, I just asked ChatGPT to make a revision. Let's try it one more time. If that doesn't work, then I will try to write the code myself. So quit. It's gonna crash, so it'll take some time to reboot the 3DS. So isn't that the same code? What did he change? The mask variable is new. Anyway, okay. See if it builds. Yes. It's 0 again, of course. I think I have a function in my utils. Round up. Yeah, I think I just need to do something like that. Alright, I'll do it offline. So, 2 more hours have passed. I got it working, but I made a big detour because I really wanted it my way, but the computer says no. It's about that alignment stuff. I thought it would be more memory efficient if I could just align my memory address to, whatever the number it wants, and have it like record directly into my buffer, but it didn't work. Even if I made that memory address align, I think there's some stuff I'm not aware of. So you definitely need to use like this mem-align function from malloc.h. Yeah, so now it's a little buffer, I think like 300 kilobytes or so, and I left the sample rate at 16 hertz just because you get like double the sampling time. You guys let me know. Maybe I guess I should like eventually put in a switch so you can select the sample rate you want and maybe even the buffer size or something. But I spent a lot of time on this today. I always have to do compromises when it comes to features. So my tactic or strategy is to just establish all the features as sort of a minimum viable, barely working way, and then, hopefully allocate some time later to fix all the stuff and make it really polished. Something I thought, I'm not sure if it's interesting, but if we look at the Git history, you see it's quite messy. So I made these 3 commits just so that I can like roll back to the mess that I created. And what I like to do then is to do a interactive git rebase, combine these 3 commits into one, and then look at the diff and clean up stuff and, retroactively make it look more legitimate, I guess. Okay. And the way I do that is git rebase, and then I know I want to look at the latest 4 commits. And then I just I will squash these 2 into the top one and give it some comments like implemented microphone sampling feature. By the way, I have little shortcuts for the git commands, so I just type git L for list history and git S for status. So now this is a single commit. And then I have another alias, it's called gdiff, so I can look at all the changes that I did here, and I'm going to clean it up now. There's a lot of messy code here. I think I don't need any of this, I can just delete that, and probably it's the same here. Don't need that anymore. In the instrument widget, yeah, I mean that's the button that I added. We need that. I guess the actions, same. We can keep all that. Maybe delete some commented lines. What did I do here? Oh yeah, I did added some an initialize and exit microphone function that'll just initialize that buffer. Then I added this global variable and calls to the initialize and exit functions in the main. So that was easy. So it's that's done. I'm gonna merge the last 2 comments. Just makes things easier. And I'm probably going to delete the R&D, the microphone example that I copied into my repository. Now I can just say git commit a amend, and then I'm going to rebase the last 2 again. I mean, squash them. All right. So, sorry for the bad quality, but there's this from Mike, and so I just press the button and yeah, sample something. Noise commander is way too buggy. Super sorry. Need to pitch it down. I hope you can hear that.
Noise commander is way too buggy. Noise commander is way too buggy.
Let me record another one. The end of the video. Like and subscribe.
Noise commander is way too buggy. Noise commander is the end of the video. The end of the video. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
All right.